Welcome back. Whew, it's been 2 weeks. It's been a rough 2 weeks. I got RSV again, so I was pretty sick for a week. Spent a week basically laying in bed. It was everything from you might think you have COVID to maybe the flu, but they ran all the tests. The only thing they didn't test me for was RSV, which I tend to have almost once a year now. And so we're going with it with RSV, and I've been pretty sick. So didn't do much this last 2 weeks, and this week isn't going to be much other than we're going to talk about some stuff on the whiteboard. All right, let's get into it. So conversing with a friend of mine, Mickey from Mickey's Garage in Norman, Oklahoma, he asked me how things were going. I had asked him a question, and he asked me how things were going. So it kind of got me thinking, how are things going? When are you going to drive that thing? Well, I haven't got an answer for that. And it's funny because my day job is a project manager. So you would think someone with my skill set would have a nice, well-organized attack plan for getting his Range Rover back on the road, but I don't. So I thought I ought to think about it a little bit and at least come up with what's next, and what's next. We'll go with that. I've been conversing with a fella out of Tennessee named Walter. Been great having emails back and forth with him. I think he's driving a modern Range Rover. Let's call it an L322. I remember him telling me, but I can't remember. But he did find a Classic down the street from his house, who he'd kind of been toying with buying, and I think he landed it. So we've been answering a lot of questions from him regarding Range Rover ownership and what he can expect and stuff, and that's been a lot of fun. So lots going on there. I look forward to it. It's one of those things where you wish you had a friend that lived closer so you could go over to his house and say, okay, here's the deal. But you don't really ever get to do that with everybody living so far apart. Maybe someday when I'm retired and like someone says I bought a Range Rover, hey, I'll come see you and let's go down there and see them, you know, one of those days. But we'll see sometime in the future, but we'll get to it. All right, let's talk about where we are and what's in the middle. So we know, if you're watching the video series, we're in the middle of putting body panel back in the back of the Range Rover, the final piece to get what I'm going to call the rest of the body completed, from mitigating all of the rest we've found so far. Not that I don't want to find more, but anyway, this will be the first round of getting it completed. But we've got that. We get that Range Rover, we get that piece completed. We need some more welding, and we'll get that put in. That will finish the body piece. So what's after that? Well, at this point, we've got all of the interior torn out, so we need to focus on getting the interior put back in. So let's list the interior as our item. That pen doesn't work very well. Let's choose a blue one. Yay, interior. Okay, so all the things on the interior that I need, we need to do some wiring. And that includes lights, some kind of battery system for fridge, ancillary things, charging batteries, that kind of stuff for like GoPros, and if I ever bought a drone, that kind of crap. We need to do that. We need to get lights in there. And we need this battery system. So we need a second battery. This is going to be a second battery. We'll need that all in there. So there's a lot of wiring to be done. It's a lot more fun to do wiring when everything's out of the way. Also need to do wiring for the sound system, which we've had a video on when we're talking about doing the sound system. We want to put in a new subwoofer in the back, that kind of stuff. We need to run all that wiring again, so we definitely want to do that kind of stuff. So the next few videos after we get the body panel completed, it's going to be something about lighting and wiring and interior work. We have already completed the restoration of the plastic inside. We've painted it. We're going to see if that holds up. We've got new seat covers for our seats. We can get those back in and get our carpets installed with our closed cell neoprene padding underneath, and basically get her back to some form of ready to drive, getting some wiring done, and that will take care of basically the very next step in our Range Rover's life. All right, what's after that? Well, I'm thinking through that. Everything on the vehicle has been sitting in the vehicle, fluids wise, all of that, which noticed and we've talked about, and you've seen videos on the fuel system being crapped out because of bad gas and bad issues there. We also have every other fluid in the vehicle except for the oil in the engine has been in there sitting for quite a while. So full fluid swap is after that. That is a lot of fluids, by the way. So we've got a transfer case, we've got a transmission, we've got axles and CV joints. Lots and lots. Coolant. Lots and lots of fluids need to come out. So that would probably be very important to do before I started making the vehicle a regular routine of driving. So thinking I drove it once a week to work or something like that, just to get some miles back on her. That's an important thing to change out to. Brake fluid, let's make that off definitely in there. Brake fluid sitting for too long gets nasty and it can cause rust in places you don't want to deal with. I have once already replaced all of the brake calipers around the vehicle and had them refurbished at least once. So I don't want to go through that again because it was really bad and a really tedious task. So those are all the next things. Or we could do these in some form of, you know, break it up, little of this, little of that. But that definitely has to be one of the things we need to be thinking about as we move forward to get this truck back on the road for us to start using her in a regular manner. Okay, and then the final future state of the Range Rover is it needs to be a camper. So I envision a drawer system with a bed on the inside. I imagine a place where my tools were better organized and stored. Our onboard refrigerator. I've got some other ideas about how I will do water and even maybe adding solar or something to the end result of all of that. So we want to talk about the camper option. So camper, we talked about bed, the drawer system. There's only like 3,000 videos of people who do this in the back of their pickup trucks, everywhere. Everybody's got one of these, and it's still vogue, I guess. But it's how I want to live in that when I go camping. That's how I want to do it. What we talked about, camper, we talked about bed, drawer system, and we talked about a fridge. We need to be thinking about water. Hot if possible. It's totally possible. How much money do I want to spend to make it happen? And do I want to just buy a system or do I want to build one myself? What else is in there? Camping. You know, if I was going to use this thing year round, I would want some kind of a heater while I'm sleeping. I've been following some people using electric blankets recently that don't draw a lot of power, but they would pretty much devastate a battery over a long period without a lot of charging. So if I used it overnight, then drove, charged the battery back up, this is our ancillary battery I'm talking about, that could be a sustainable thing without having to purchase a diesel heater or a propane heater of some kind to heat the cab. But I'm also not opposed to doing that because I've talked to several guys and they love them. And so getting something on board like that would be pretty cool. those are some of the other things that I've been thinking about as well. That's another future state. That can happen in stages. I can get the vehicle ready. I can still sleep in it because I've slept in it before. I don't have to have a drawer system. I would like to have some better mattress than I've had, but I don't need a fridge, and I have a way for doing water, and I've been cold before. So I'm not really worried about it. I can get to the future camping state without putting too much effort into these tasks, but these are the ultimate end goal of our system. Okay, ancillary fun projects. We'll call them ancillary. Ancillary. That's probably wrong. Let's look it up. Nah, screw it. All right, bumper. I want a bumper on the back. The current bumper was rammed into by a crazy lady trying to pick up a bottle of spaghetti sauce that rolled out of her grocery bag, and she ducked down to grab it out of her footwell, and when she looked up, she crashed into the back of the Range Rover. That was quite a few years ago, 10 years ago now probably, and it just destroyed her car. It was amazing how damaged it was, and I drove my truck home. But it did give us a nice little bang back there, and it tore up my bumper. So I wanted to put a bumper in. That bumper will hold, when I'm done, I want it to hold fuel, propane, water cans, fuel cans, let's just call it fuel cans and make it generic. Fuel cans, big spare tire, fire ring. Think of the possibilities of things you could put on a swing away carrier, and I've probably stored 100 photographs off of Pinterest on just ideas like this of ways I would like to do stuff in the back. That'll be a fun welder project, so you can always test my welding skills at that point, but it'll be fun. But that would be one of the neato mosquito things I'd like to do as well. What else you say? Rock sliders, that's what else. Rock sliders, tree bars, whatever you want to call them on the side, but I definitely have an idea for that. I actually have the steel, and so I would definitely want to put in some kind of a rock slider at some point. Me and my friends do not go to the rock slider camp. We don't spend a lot of time crawling over rocks, but there are some trails that I think we could expand our love to and use rock sliders to keep from damaging everything and coming home. So along with rock sliders, we'd probably want some diff guards. Guards. Reading is fundamental, kids. Diff guards. Those would be super cool too. So rock sliders, diff guards, skid plates, I don't know. There's a lot of conversation about skid plates. If it became important enough and I started doing stupider and stupider things with my truck, yeah, absolutely. Let's add some skid plates too, because why not? It is a blank canvas and we can do whatever we want. So that's about it this week. There's a lot of other things we could be talking about probably. Additional things. I would like to have an awning, one of those batwing awnings. That would be pretty cool too. But those things all come in time. They aren't required for me to get back out and have fun in this vehicle. So we'll do that at some point, but that's about it. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you like the content. Look forward to me next week. Trying to figure out how I'm going to fix the cross member piece so that I can weld the bed back together. I did get the gigantic clamps for holding stuff together. Big jaws, they're at least this big, they're 18 inches. So that'll hold everything in place while I'm doing some welding. I'm looking forward to getting those two pieces put together, get that piece put together and get it all done. But that's where we're at next week. So thanks again. Enjoy the weather this week. Hopefully it's nice wherever you are. And again, we'll see you next week.